Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mushkin. As we head into 2022, the Splash Live is your host for live and exclusive Greater West Bloomfield news and interviews. We're here to bring you featured stories and local events to showcase our great community. The Splash Live is now daily from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. We are also live on CivicCenterTV.com under the live section of your web browser and mobile device. Join us as we take a look at what is happening around our Greater West Bloomfield community. Every week we highlight someone from our Greater West Bloomfield community that is making an impact. We will be taking submissions now for our Person of the Week through the QR code on the screen. To submit an entry, you can scan the QR code on the screen and fill out the short Google form with the person's name, reason that they should be recognized for the Person of the Week, and some contact information for them. These nominations can be anyone from educators, students, local businesses, or any other organization you think deserves to be recognized as our Person of the Week. We are now going to dive into our Greater West Bloomfield community events. In the West Bloomfield community, the first one is the West Bloomfield Township Library events. 2022 is here, and the Greater West Bloomfield community has some fun events that are happening now. The West Bloomfield Public Township Library has started their virtual programming that includes a variety of interactive events for all ages. Some of those events next week are their film discussion series. On Monday, January 10th, they are discussing the film Selma. On Thursday and Friday, they have a book discussion on the book Bagman by Rachel Maddow, and they are also holding a virtual how-to on ebooks and audiobooks on Wednesday. So this is something where they show you how to access those ebooks and audiobooks through the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. All these events you can register for on their website at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. And those events are now open for registration, a fun way to get involved with your local township library and make sure that in the new year you are getting the knowledge that you need through all of those fun film discussions and book discussions that they have available to you. Our second event is happening in Sylvan Lake. The Sylvan Salon Committee is hosting another salon in January. These salons work to educate the community and create local dialogue about social issues and things happening in our community. Their fourth salon will be held on January 18th at the Board and Brush Studio. They have a 6:15 social and a 7 p.m. presentation. Their presentation this time will be from attorney Gabby Silver, who works at the University of Michigan's Innocence Clinic and will be speaking at the salon. Gabby will speak about her work with the innocence community and the wrongfully convicted. She will also be exploring stories of the accused and how they are charged and convicted. Capacity is limited to 30, so you can reserve your $5 seat through contacting Kelly Krause on the Sylvan Lake Salon Committee, and all the proceeds will be added to the Sylvan Summer 2022 Concert Fund, a fun way to get together with your Sylvan Lake community members and hear from attorney Gabby Silver about those wrongfully convicted and her work with the Innocence Foundation through the University of Michigan. Our third and last event is the Sylvan Lake Game Night. This event is perfect if you're looking for something fun to do this winter. Whether you go alone or with friends, the Sylvan Lake Game Nights are a fun way to socialize safely with your neighbors and friends. Sylvan Lake Game Nights take place every Wednesday when there is not a Sylvan Lake board meeting in the community center. Game nights start at 5:30 p.m. and will go to about 9 p.m. at the community center. This event is open to all Sylvan Lake residents. You are welcome to bring family and friends to get together and play games at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. They held their first one this year, January 5th on Wednesday, and then they will also be holding those every Wednesday when there's not a Sylvan Lake board meeting. You can bring any games that you'd like to play, and there will also be games provided as well. So this is a fun way to get together with your neighbors and community members this winter, so make sure that you stop by the community center if you are a Sylvan Lake resident and bring your family and friends to have a fun time playing some games there. If you have an event you'd like us to feature, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV 15 and on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. We're now going to check out our Person of the Week, Vito Kukuru. Vito is the president of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, where he works to make sure that businesses in our community are staying up to date with their marketing and business strategies through his consulting firm, Consult Vito. And he also does free Google classes that he teaches through the chamber. These can be anywhere from marketing to website design. The chamber holds these Google classes through their Facebook Live page, and he does a great job at teaching local businesses and our community members how to stay up to date on their marketing strategies. So let's take a look at why we chose Vito Kukuru as our Person of the Week.
In today's digital age, it can be hard for a business to stand out and properly market themselves to consumers. That's why Vito Kukuru, Greater West Bloomfield's Chamber of Commerce president, offers free Google classes to consult about marketing strategies, social media, and branding. Vito was kind enough to join us on The Splash to go more in-depth about his business, Vito Consult.
You know, for a long time, I worked in many different advertising agencies, a lot of different marketing departments, and there was just a point where a lot of people were asking me, is there anything you can do for me individually? Can we have a side conversation? Can we have a sidebar about some of the needs I have in my business? And that really started to spin off into more people asking, more people wanting, and all of a sudden I started to realize maybe I can make a run at this as a consultant or as my own business. And what I provide is things like lead generation, trying to get people to the right names, the right numbers, the right people, the right profiles, build their brand. I have a brand exercise where I take people through, who they're trying to look for beyond logo, beyond colors, and beyond fonts. The brand really tells you who you are, your values, your pillars, what you're trying to do, your mission, vision.
Vito also went on to describe what it's been like consulting clients during the pandemic, as with the ever-growing presence of technology.
It is really hard to keep up with the technology, really hard to understand what's going on, and really hard to know what the trends are. So one of the things I do to address that, we have 2 webinars a month through the chamber, which is basically all educational. The other thing I like to do to help people is to just give them a free consultation, a discovery session. They can tell me what they're doing, if it's working or not. And I do a deep dive with them for a few hours and say, hey, here's some products and some services you may have heard of, and here's what their costs would be, and here's how to manage them. One of the big things I try and do is through the education, because things are changing so quickly, and what COVID did was it really set people back, because some people went full in on the marketing, some people had to pull back, and all the technology and the process of marketing just went forward.
When he's not donating time to help others in their business strategies, Vito Kukuru is president of Greater West Bloomfield's Chamber of Commerce, looking to make a positive impact on his community.
I also work with the board to make sure that we're presenting opportunities to the business community in terms of education. So we have a lot of different groups and a lot of opportunities for businesses to learn about marketing, to connect with an expert, to learn about what's going on, with the health systems, what's going on with seniors. We have a lot of opportunities that I help manage and coordinate with Suzanne and the other executive members of the board and the other members of the board to make sure that we're bringing information not only to the businesses but information to the community.
Vito Kukuru's dedication to helping his community and businesses big and small is why he is our Person of the Week.
Thank you to Vito Kukuru for all the work that he does, making sure our Greater West Bloomfield businesses are getting up to date with their marketing and social media strategies as we head into the new year. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we will be joined by Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine. We will chat about the updates in the chamber and their upcoming Installation of Officers event after this break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. It is now time for our Friday regular guest. We are excited today to be joined by Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine. Suzanne has held this position since August of 2012 and has worked diligently to support the West Bloomfield community. She has created several groups in the community to support the diverse population in the Greater West Bloomfield, including the Senior Resource Group and the next big thing, the Business Innovator Generator. Suzanne is also in charge of overseeing the finances, budget, events, and the PR marketing department, as well as the website and social media content for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Suzanne.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. So let's start off with the installation of board officers that you guys have coming up this month for the chamber. It is going to be happening, and you can tell us a little bit about the event and maybe which residents will be installed as officers this month.
Yeah, it's very exciting because last year we had to do it virtually. We have a venue. The Avalon of Commerce Township has graciously agreed to host it and offer a beautiful breakfast. And we have 48th District Court Judge Diane D'Agostini, who loves doing it. It's funny, she loves officiating and installing the new board. We have a couple new members on the board this year. We have Dr. Manu Malhotra, Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital Chief Medical Officer, and he's a great addition to our board because he offers us some guidance as to, what we should be doing as far as having in-person events or doing them virtually. We also have Dr. Mike Pizzimenti, who is an owner of HealthQuest Physical Therapy. He's a young, dynamic physician who, PhD, excuse me, I stand corrected. But he's great because he was not only one of our Chamber's Young Entrepreneur of the Year awards, but he offers a different perspective as a business owner. So we're really excited. We will install the whole board, but we have some new people that we will be introducing to the community. And it's a great event. It's going to start at 7:30 to 8 is the breakfast, and then we'll get on with the show. And I believe that you're our host, which we're really excited about. So it should be a great event. It's open to the public. There is a small charge to attend. And we've already gotten a lot of buzz about it. So I know there's some hesitancy on some people about attending because of Omicron. But I think, at some point, people have to make a decision. They're going to either live in a bubble or they're going to venture out. And hopefully if they do get Omicron, it's a mild case and it gives them some immunity going forward.
And you guys obviously are going to make sure that the event is safe, and if people do want to come, they will be socially distanced, and if they want to be wearing a mask, they are definitely encouraged to. But if somebody does want to go and attend the installation of board members, how would they go about paying that small fee and then maybe getting in contact with the board?
They can visit our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com. There is a place to register. And if they have any other questions, they can contact me at wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com or call me at 248-626-3636. And we're very excited because Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union is our big sponsor again this year. And we will have some small token of appreciation, some swag bags that we will be handing out to the people that attend. So it should be a great event. And as I say, I'm making plans for the future to have more in-person events. I am excited on the 27th of January, and I haven't decided yet on which speaker, but we're going to have a big speaker with a COVID update. So I'm hoping to work with Civic Center TV. For sure it'll be on our Facebook Live. But I think it's an important update by one of our Henry Ford, either West Bloomfield or the health system medical officers to talk about some of the misinformation and what's going on in the hospitals. And, is there a way to keep us truly safe?
And Suzanne, as we begin 2022, businesses are looking to stay afloat during the ongoing pandemic, as well as maybe revamping the way that they do business this year. How is the Chamber making sure that all of our local businesses are being assisted throughout this new year?
I'm trying to connect them with other businesses because, as I say, I'm a business matchmaker. So trying to make sure that, for example, if that HealthQuest is connected with some of our assisted living, because we know that these people do still need, some like physical therapy, et cetera. So trying to make sure that everyone is connected during this time and to do, mutual business. And I'm also trying to encourage them to do whatever they can to show their products either virtually or see if they can deliver them personally to people's doorsteps that are afraid to go into some of the smaller businesses that, can't really compete with they can't compete with Amazon, but there are things that they can do for one-on-one customer service that an Amazon cannot offer.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much again for joining us this morning, Suzanne, and for all that you do here in the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
And thank you again to Civic Center TV. Again, you're the unsung hero of our community. And we're really so appreciative that we have you to cover our events and to connect all of our businesses to the public.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Have a great day.
You too. Once again, I was joined by Suzanne Levine. She is the Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. And as we look into the new year, many people are keeping up with their New Year's resolutions. We're now going to take a look at what our staff here at Civic Center TV and staff members at West Bloomfield Town Hall made for their New Year's resolutions this year. Splash reporter Calvin Brown has those answers.
Well, well, well. Funny I'd find you around here at Green Media Center. Calvin Brown reporting for The Splash. I asked people around my work and around West Bloomfield what their New Year's resolution was. And hey, why don't I tell you mine right now? Smile more. Adorable. Isn't that just cute? Makes you want to grin ear to ear. But what about West Bloomfield?
My resolution is for our township staff to remain healthy and to continue serving the public in their exemplary manner.
My New Year's resolution is to be a little bit more punctual. I feel like I drag my feet a little bit when it comes to getting places, so yeah, I think I'm going to be a little bit more punctual this year.
I'm not a big resolutions guy, but I do believe in every year trying to kind of refocus myself and just kind of remain positive and be a good influence to my friends and family. So just trying to reset some things and have some personal goals. One of them is fitness-wise. With the pandemic, things had to change that way, so I'm in the process of trying to figure out new ways to stay active and stay healthy.
My New Year's resolution is to take more dedicated time to just relax and find calm. I tend to have my mind not stop, and I just want to take a little bit more time to stay in the present moment and calm down a little bit.
My 2022 New Year's resolution is to try to be more grateful and wake up each day grateful for what I have and for my health, and to be kind to the people that I meet.
So I think I have two. I can't decide which one I want to go with, so I'm going to tell you both. I'm definitely going to read more because I have binged way too much television over these past 2 years. And then second is to learn how to roll with the punches, as they say, a little bit more.
My New Year's resolution is to do more things that make me genuinely happy.
My New Year's resolution would be to make time to pray more, to spend time with family, and to just focus on being healthy and work out.
Our New Year's resolution is to try more new things and be more adventurous and get out of our comfort zone. So we are going to try this 100-year-old egg that our boss brought in. It's actually not bad. Mm-hmm. Just tastes like an egg, in case you're curious.
Always with the great answers, West Bloomfield. Thank you so much. I love asking you guys crazy, wacky, and fun questions. But I'll have to save it for next time on Testing the Waters. Woo!
Thank you to everyone for giving us their New Year's resolutions and sharing a little bit about what they'll be working on this upcoming year in 2022. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we're going to talk with Mike Pizzimenti, the director and owner at HealthQuest Physical Therapy, about his business and how HealthQuest is keeping patients healthy and active headed into the new year. So don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll talk to Mike.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Vanny Muschin. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by Mike Pizzimenti. He is the director and owner at HealthQuest Physical Therapy in West Bloomfield. They are an independent physical therapy facility owned and operated by licensed physical therapists. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mike.
Thanks, Maddie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
So let's first start. How did you get into physical therapy, and maybe give us a little bit about the background at HealthQuest Physical Therapy?
I've always been into physical fitness and sports. Had to deal with injuries of my own initially early on, and went through physical therapy myself a couple times. Kind of got hooked on that whole thing. I became a personal trainer, and I just wanted to, take the next step, learn about more pathology, injury prevention, injury rehab. So got me into school. I got in with HealthQuest about 14 years ago as a technician and kind of learned the ropes, and grew from a personal trainer to a staff PT, and then I opened up my own practice, and it'll be 6 years now in February.
And Mike, what type of patients does HealthQuest serve, and what are the type of treatments that your team offers there?
So we see pretty much anybody with any musculoskeletal issue. It could be anybody from your early adolescence. I mean, I've seen people as kids young as 5-6 years old, and then I've seen people as old as over 100 years old. It could be anywhere from the balance patient, somebody get on and off the toilet, has difficulty going up and down stairs, to the Division I semi-professional, professional athlete that's looking to return back to their sport. So it's all over the map. Your low back pains and your neck pains are right up there and at the top. Shoulder, knee pain are right there. Hip, ankle, elbow, you name it. Musculoskeletal wise, we pretty much treat it.
And Mike, your team also offers a variety of specialized treatments for your patients. These can include cupping, dry needling, concussion treatment. How do these types of treatments help your patients that you see with a variety of different physical needs there?
So having a large bag, if you will, of treatments really does help. Each patient responds differently to treatment. So when one thing kind of is not working, we like to be able to switch things up. Everybody likes a customized exercise program. Well, they need a customized manual treatment program as well sometimes. All the things that you just mentioned, like cupping and dry needling, grassing, which is like a metal tool assisted modality that we use as well. Everything's to improve blood flow, and we want blood flow to whatever area is injured. It helps with the healing process, so we facilitate that, and then we reinforce through usually a stability program to create a little bit more postural control, which is most of the reasons why we see somebody fall into a painful cycle is because they're moving poorly or they're just standing or sitting poorly.
And Mike, with the ongoing pandemic, does HealthQuest Physical Therapy see a certain type of injury or problem with patients, or how have you seen the pandemic impact those patients you treat at HealthQuest?
Well, with the pandemic, it's keeping people inside a lot more now. So we're seeing a lot more sedentary lifestyle type pathologies. So your neck and your back pains are going up. People have stopped going to the gym, or they're doing some stuff at home, and it's just not the same. And so we do see a lot more of the lifestyle change type injuries. So deconditioning, people getting weaker, and they're not complementing their sedentary lifestyle with a more physical fitness like they used to prior to that. A lot of people are working from home, so they're working at their laptops or their couches or their kitchen tables, and their ergonomic setup at their house is not quite what it was at the office, and that also over time can affect a lot of different things.
And then Mike, for you personally, you have a great connection and relationship with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. You're going to be installed as an officer this upcoming month. Can you tell us a little bit about your work within the Chamber of Commerce? We talked to Suzanne Levine earlier about how you are working with the Chamber to making sure that certain businesses are working with HealthQuest. So if you would just give us a little background into what you do with the Chamber and maybe a little bit of excitement as you're going to be installed into the board there.
I mean, ever since day one, it's always been about making connections with everybody and anybody around you. And as a private practice, we don't have a feeder system, if you will, like a hospital system or so, or a physician feeding us specifically to our clinic. So we have to make relationships with multiple physicians in the community as well. Meeting Suzanne early on when I first came out here was a huge thing, because I was able to meet different like-minded people in different businesses. Working with the high schools, St. Mary's High School, Bloomfield Hills, and especially West Bloomfield, which is just a stone's throw away from my clinic. Creating connections has been the biggest thing to be able to, spread the good word, essentially. So we have a product and a service. To get people in the door, people have to kind of gravitate and meet, you have to meet them, you have to talk to them, they have to kind of like you. They come on in, and then they see that the product and the service at the back end is actually excellent. So then, word spreads and whatever. And, over time, you start to create, the vision starts to become real over time. And then the community really does start to support you, and it kind of just spreads in a way like a good virus. No, no pun intended.
And Mike, as we wrap up the interview, is there anything else you want to say to our audience? Maybe some goals as you head into 2022 with HealthQuest?
Yeah, so we're always trying to stay one step ahead of the COVID curve. So, my goal for here is to keep my staff empowered, keep people as healthy as possible. We're following every CDC guideline out there. We're, sometimes exceeding it as well. So it's really just to move into 2022 and just try to get through this as a team and be a leader for my whole squad, and have everybody come in the door and continue to get great care.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mike.
Thank you so much for having me.
Once again, I was joined by Mike Pizzimenti. He is the owner and director at HealthQuest Physical Therapy, making sure that all of the residents here in West Bloomfield are staying healthy as we head into the new year. And he will be installed as one of the new board members for the Greater West Bloomfield Commerce headed into the rest of this month. And just real quick before we end, we're going to throw up the QR code for our Person of the Week again. If you have someone that has come to your mind, whether that is an educator, a student, or someone from a local business or organization, you can go ahead and scan that QR code and nominate them for our Person of the Week. It only takes about a minute. It is a short Google form. You just put your contact information, a reason for nominating the person for the Person of the Week, and then some contact information for them so that we can go ahead and contact them about the Person of the Week. So if you go ahead and scan that QR code, you can also call in to our studios here at Civic Center TV to make sure that the person that you are nominating gets nominated, and we will represent them and highlight them here on the Splash Live. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much to Suzanne Levine and Mike Pizzimenti for joining us this morning. And a special thanks to our Zoom producer, Jared Clark, for coordinating the Zoom and making sure that all of our guests joined us, as well as a thank you to Calvin Brown, our board operator and booking producer, for making the show possible each and every morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning as we explored all of the people and events going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. Make sure to watch any interviews and stories you missed by visiting civiccentertv.com to watch them online in HD under the Splash Live tab on our website. As always, make sure to tune in live on Civic Center TV on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99 Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. to catch up on what is going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. For all of our friends in Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Kiko Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Muschin. Thank you for watching The Splash Live.